Ladies and gentlemen, the day has finally come. Mr. Beast has finally responded after the 3-month investigation that all began way back when his buddy Kris Tyson was involved in having a really sketchy past and history involving a Discord that involved minors. Before we start, hope you guys like the shirt. Hope you guys had a happy Halloween, and I guess let's just get right into it. Now, on Twitter, Jimbo, aka Mr. Beast, put out this. A 3-month investigation into allegations regarding my company has concluded. The law firm investigators reviewed millions of documents, messages, and conducted 39 interviews. I was asked to refrain from making public statements to enable a detailed and unbiased investigation. Below are their conclusions. You may already be noticing something. There are 2 posts. That is the entire investigation, right? 3 months, 39 interviews, millions of documents and messages, and all they have is 2 pages worth of findings. Let's give it the benefit of the doubt and look at it. November 1st, 2024, via email, Board of Directors, MrBeast LLC, internal investigation, key findings and conclusions. Dear Board of Directors, as you know, in July of 2024, MrBeast LLC, the company, engaged Quinn Emanuel, Urquhart and Sullivan LLP to conduct an internal investigation into specific allegations made publicly, incidents reported internally, and issues raised by employees in interviews, including with respect to current and/or former company personnel in the company's workplace environment and culture. At your direction, Quinn Emanuel immediately launched a comprehensive investigation, which has now concluded. The following sets forth certain key findings and conclusions from the investigation without waiving any applicable privileges, including, but not limited to, the attorney-client privilege and work product protection. As an initial matter, to protect the investigation's integrity, on July 31st, 2024, Quinn Emanuel requested that a former employee, Dawson French, cease making public allegations against the company, as those were the topic of an ongoing investigation. Dawson French is DogPack404. If you haven't seen his videos, you should go watch them. He made 3 videos on things going on in the MrBeast company. The first 2 videos were very good. The third one, not so good. Still had some interesting claims, but there was a big oopsie in that video where he accidentally accused someone of doing something that they didn't do, right? The other 2 were still pretty great videos that kind of dive deep into some of these shady things happening at the Beast company. We also requested that current employees refrain from public comments to ensure the investigation yielded accurate information and that witnesses were not tainted. I'm going to assume my opinion that this is regarding Ava Tyson putting out one statement and being silenced since then. There have been rumblings behind the scenes of again, what this kind of says that MrBeast, Amazon, all sorts of other powers came together, told Ava that they're going to put this statement out on their behalf and stay silent. Again, allegations. The intent was to foster candid interviews and complete cooperation with the investigatory process. Quinn Emanuel conducted 39 interviews of current and former employees, over 4.5 million documents collected from mobile phones, emails, telegrams, Discord, WhatsApps, and Slack were processed and reviewed. The collaboration and cooperation sought at the outset were achieved throughout this process. Quinn Emanuel thoroughly investigated all public allegations and any others that arose during the investigation. So, judging by right here saying the telegrams and public allegations and any others that arose, I'm going to make a guess that they did happen to look into the recent telegram leaks that involved, a potential work group and, also had some very sketchy and edgy memes and pretty borderline crazy things being shared in there. The investigation produced the following significant findings. allegations of sexual misconduct, e.g., P word, grooming, CP, etc., between company employees and minors, are without basis. The allegations were soundly rejected, including by alleged victims. I'm going to again make another guess that this is talking about Kris Tyson and the Lava GS person who was a minor at the time, involving themselves and being engaged with these adults, making, gross jokes and posting things such as, anime, CP, things like that. It is strange to say rejected, including by alleged victims. Now, if you're, uninformed, there's something called Stockholm Syndrome, right? Which is what happens when hostages or abuse victims form emotional bonds with their captors. Obviously, Kris Tyson did not capture Lava GS, but it was in a Discord of close friends, and the idea that like, oh, you're one of our close buddies, you're one of our people, you work with us, and you're going to be in future content and videos, and you have a bright future ahead of you if you just stick with us. So would it be surprising if Lava GS, a minor in that past conversational time, were to say, oh, like I wasn't groomed, nothing happened, everything was just fun, sunshine and rainbows? Mind you, Lava GS accidentally, lied a few times, or maybe misspoke a few times and said nothing happened in the Discords, nothing happened, behind the scenes. And when more things came out, Lava GS even had to take that back and say, okay, I was wrong. Some things did happen. Some of this stuff was inappropriate and should not have happened. Now, back on July 26th, Lava himself put out this message. Based on the recent screenshots and messages, I would like to say a statement about the Discord. This was 5 or 6 years ago, and I thought I had a good memory of the situation, but I was wrong. After reading the chat logs, this stuff was inappropriate and wrong. I spoke based on my memory of the situation. I still do not remember these conversations, but they definitely happened. These conversations should not have happened with people at the age I was at the time. I strongly condemn them. I still believe I'm not a victim, but these conversations should not have happened with me and any other minor in this Discord. I was a minor in this situation and not the adult influencer who shouldn't have allowed this to happen. I did not see this wrong at the time. Now, this is fair. I think that it's okay for Lava to come out and say, like, I don't think I was a victim, right? But to then, make this statement here and say that the allegations were rejected, including by the victims. The victim you're referencing admitted that they didn't remember the situation as fondly as they thought, and that their own personal identification of the situation was that they weren't a victim. But I think anyone with a brain can see that, like, a 20, what was Ava? 26, 25, I could be lying completely. Sorry, I don't remember the exact age. Ava was like in their 20s at this time, and Lava was like 13 years old. Even if they were 16 years old, right? Let's imagine that. It was still very inappropriate that this server was even a thing. The things talked about in these logs included, Kris claiming themselves to be the lollipop god and saying nothing gets me cranking it like some lollipop. Things like this were absolutely vile, right? The allegations were soundly rejected, including by alleged victims. So I guess that's it, guys. I guess Ava's name is cleared. Allegations of the company knowingly employing individuals with proclivities or history towards illegal or questionably legal conduct are similarly without basis here too. The allegations were uniformly rejected. Now, this part's a little interesting because it says allegations of the company knowingly employing individuals with proclivities or histories towards illegal or questionable legal conduct. In basic business terms, this means that MrBeast company knew that they were hiring, people like offenders, right? And now this tweet from Jake the Viking kind of proves that this is false. Either that or Jake the Viking is a liar. Here's the truth. Yes, Delaware is my brother-in-law. Yes, he is a registered offender. When he was a 21-year-old, a 16-year-old girl accused him and others of something horrible when she was 11. Delaware took a plea deal. That's why there was no jail time, but he still had to register. His nickname isn't Delaware because he can't go back to Delaware. He's from Delaware. That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. He's been back several times. He was hired before I was, and was actually the reason I got hired at MrBeast. Before being hired, Delaware sat down with Jimmy and Sue, Jimmy's mother, and explained to them everything. So yes, Jimmy knew. But again, this incident happened in 2010. Delaware was hired in 2017 to 2018. Delaware was also let go from the company before I was. So this tweet is, again, either Jimmy is lying and Quinn Emanuel, this company, is putting out statements that are just not true at all, or Delaware and Jake the Viking are both lying. Because based on this statement, I'm going to assume that Delaware told Jake, obviously his brother-in-law, what happened when he was hired. If he says, you know, I sat down with Jimmy and Sue and told them about my past and they hired me because like we all make mistakes and blah, blah, something like that happened, okay? And he went and told Jake, and then Jake has now posted this to the internet. That means that Quinn Emanuel is saying that they reject these allegations. They reject it. So there we go. Another thing cleared, guys. It's all good. It's all water under the bridge. MrBeast's innocent. Now, this one says several isolated incidences of workplace harassment and misconduct were identified during the investigation. The company was informed of such conduct and took swift and appropriate actions to address the incidents, including, where necessary, disciplining or letting go of implicated individuals. Now, to me, this seems like it's a reference to like one of DogPack, again, one of his videos, where he was saying that there were, you know, workplace harassment and misconduct, and they're admitting that they had to fire people for that. So again, I think this kind of backs up the claim that DogPack has done a pretty decent job, in my opinion, a pretty good job with his videos. Again, people make mistakes. Plenty of reporters have made humongous mistakes and still have careers. And I think DogPack is no different. He's made mistakes, but again, he's also done a great job of whistleblowing and getting this information out to the public and having these people engaged in harassment and misconduct let go from the company. Rightfully so. As you are well aware, the company has grown exceedingly quick from a YouTube startup comprised of a group of talented young individuals to a much larger entity. It is not uncommon that policies and practices essential in a major company would lag behind commercial success. This appears to have been the case here and has, in certain instances, allowed for inappropriate conduct. Now, I'm going to make a guess here, as this is kind of referencing like the let the boys be boys, you know, MrBeast logs that have come out, where it was like a 30-page document of the rules of the MrBeast company, and like no does not mean no. I know you guys remember that. I'm probably going to flash up some pictures, but this is kind of what I think is being referenced here. Again, my thoughts, my opinions. It is clear that the company is committed to remedying historical issues and creating a mature culture where problematic behaviors are not tolerated as it enters this new phase. The company has already implemented or is in the process of implementing changes to ensure a safe and professional corporate culture today and moving forward. These include sending a clear message regarding tone at the top, hiring a new Chief Executive Officer, CEO, Chief People Officer and General Counsel, and soon to be hired a Chief Financial Officer. Isn't the CEO James Warren? Implementing mandatory corporate training for all employees, developing new policies codified in an employee handbook, again referencing that unprofessional handbook that said things like, let the boys be boys. If you see Ava drawing a penis on the wall, let her do things like that, which are just, again, unprofessional. But I wouldn't say those are like the worst things ever. The handbook was just, again, unprofessional for such a humongous company that is now the MrBeast company, right? Establishing an anonymous reporting mechanism and hotline for employees, swiftly terminating individuals who violated company policy regardless of their position or level within the company, identifying additional employees for targeted training and executive coaching to address professionalism and compliance with company policy. Again, most of this is just rehashing what we saw from the leaked email that was sent out to like the MrBeast employees. I think Drama Alert posted it. That's something I'm going to flash on the screen as well. This officially concludes our investigation. We remain available if you need any other follow-ups or have further questions. Very truly yours, Alex Spiro. And there it is, my friends. 3 months of content, or 3 months of research, evidence, millions of files they said they looked at, was it? Millions of documents and messages, 39 interviews, 3-month investigation. Over the course of these 3 months, I would probably say thousands of videos are now out there of people looking into like past things Beast has been involved in and past things that they've maybe lied about or bent the truth about, or things that involved like, pretty nasty things he said, whether making jokes about like Daniel Bergoli. And it has been an insane 3 months to say the least. And again, throughout this whole process, I've admitted, like, I don't think MrBeast is the worst human being alive. But I don't think this statement or this investigation suffices. What does this mean? They don't mention who is terminated. Was Ava Tyson terminated? Does that mean that the possibility that Ava Tyson is connected to the MrBeast company behind the scenes and be owning a portion of the Beast companies, does that mean that she's going to lose that? Does that mean that they've completely kicked her off to the streets? What happened with the Muskina allegations? There's so many questions, and I feel like this 2-page document didn't answer them. And it's just going to cause more people like myself, like others who've been following this situation, to look back at past things and say, well, actually you said this here. Actually you said this here. So is that true? Now, LavaGS has actually put out a statement, a updated new statement regarding, what MrBeast's statement was. Now that the investigation is over and MrBeast has addressed it, I want to clarify a few important points that I've remained quiet on as the investigation was ongoing. People used my name to make a very serious allegation and claims without ever speaking to me. These people thought they were trying to protect me, but the truth is they were saying things that were completely false. I want to remind you, this same person accidentally, I'm being generous, accidentally lied and said that this stuff wasn't happening in the Discord. When the Discord leaked, they quickly pulled back and said, oh yeah, my bad, it did happen. But now this person is saying that people should have spoke to them. I don't think that you need to speak to a minor that was in a server with adults making very disgusting jokes and doing some very nasty things. I don't want to say things like illegal because it's touchy, right? Otherwise, very inappropriate things that should not have happened. I don't think you have to reach out to a child for clarification when the screenshots and the evidence and the logs speak for themselves, right? These people thought they were trying to protect me. I think the idea was that you were a young child who was, whether you believe it or not, in a situation that very popular people, older people, wealthy, successful people could take advantage of you. And that's the idea of them trying to protect you. Completely false. I would not say anything was completely false, right? The private investigators reviewed all my DMs and interactions with Kris. I was the one who sent the Discord leaks to the investigators as they were coming out. It was incredibly difficult having my name thrown around in a public forum without being given the opportunity to share the truth. Thankfully, the people doing the investigation actually did reach out and give me the opportunity to tell the truth, which is very much appreciated. I was not groomed. These were false allegations made up by other people with my name thrown in them. The investigation was conducted by real investigators and not internet detectives. They reviewed everything. I, as well as all of you, wanted a proper and thorough investigative outcome to this situation. I'm glad it has finally happened. Wow, what a statement. What a dumb statement. Now, I think this is where we're going to wrap up the video. The Mr. Beast saga's done. He's innocent, guys. We all knew he was innocent. Mr. Beast would never do no wrong. Obviously, I'm trolling. There's more that's going to come out. I've been holding back for a little bit. It's been about an hour since this statement's come out and everything. Kris Tyson, Kris Tyson still hasn't said anything. So far, Mr. Beast and Lava have come out with something. So if more comes out, I will, make more videos, keep you updated. But it's going to be a messy time on the internet. It's interesting. People are already kind of coming out. Some people are like calling out the discrepancies, calling out the things that seem to be pretty false. And some people are saying, see, Mr. Beast was innocent. Like I told you guys, they just wanted to bring a young man down. Like they just wanted to bring a successful man down, which is just kind of a silly thing to think. Either way, that's where we're going to wrap the video up, my friends. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got a little knowledge. We didn't really learn anything more than what we already knew these past couple months. It's just we finally have a statement or a tweet out from Mr. Beast, at least regarding them. But peace out, my friends. Bye.